Flosstube. Welcome to Flosstube number 8, I believe. Gosh, 8. I still get nervous and flustered. But right, I've got a WIP update for you today and a little bit of haul and my plans for Stitch Maynia, which I think I'm absolutely bonkers. But I loved seeing everybody's last year, so I thought I'd jump in this year. So, what have I worked on? I worked on the Stitch Maynia Stitch Along April Showers Brings May Flowers. So I started with the Bothy Threads Peony kit. I like the kit, but the fabric I started it on is this 22 cat hardanger that I UFO'd my peacock from. I've made a small start, you can't really see, but I really don't like this fabric, so I think I'm going to restart it before I get too much further, because it's a kit and if I use too much thread I'm going to run out, and it's Madeira thread in the Bothy Threads kit, and I'm not sure if that's easily able to buy. So I'm going to change the fabric, and I switched my project for the Stitch Along. So I changed it to Afternoon in New York, which qualifies because it's got some flowers in. It's a bit wonky on the frame, but that's my progress so far. There's a bit of light behind that, isn't there? But I love stitching these. I can't wait to finish it and start the Paris and London. I've been working on my Mirabilia, which I was terrified to start, and I'm absolutely in love with it. And I'm not stitching too much on it because I don't want it to end. I don't want to finish it. So Petal Fairy I decided to do for my first one. So I started it about 4 weeks ago, and it's on the frame because I'm working on it now, and I did all of the flower and the stem to there in 3 days. It stitches up so quickly. And then last night, a bit closer, I did the start of her wing. All this here is Krennic, and it was actually plain ball, and it's stitching really nice. I've stopped using Thread Heaven. Can't get on with that, I don't really like it, but the Krennic is stitching in really well at the moment. There's quite a lot of Krennic actually, I didn't realise. So the majority of her wings are Krennic. Normally I don't like it, but as I say, it's plain ball. So, but I think I'm going to run out because it tells you to do it in 2 strands, in 1 strand. But I didn't really like the coverage, so what I'm doing the first leg a single strand, and then when I'm coming back on the second leg, I'm stitching the second leg twice. And I'm much more happy with the coverage on it. So absolutely love stitching that. That's my first time on even weave, which I can't believe I was nervous to try before, because now I absolutely love it. It's so soft and just love it. So I've ordered more. And then I worked on my Haid for the challenge number 2, which I completed. So I did this page here for challenge 2. I'm really pleased with that because the robot's starting to form and her hat's finished, and it's just so lifelike. The challenge was to stitch a whole page cross country, just 1 colour at a time. I actually quite enjoyed it. I sort of sat looking at the chart for ages trying to decide which colour to do next. So I got hubby to choose my next symbol for me and thought, oh, I have to stitch that even if I don't like it, but it got it done quite quick. I think I did it in about 12 or 13 days. Before the challenge, I'd started this page here, and I've had to do some mega fudging. I decided to go across instead of down, and what I didn't realise was the first column wasn't a 10 by 10 block, it was a 10 by 9. So when I got to the end, I've had to sort of fudge the first 2 rows of stitches on the next page. I think I'd gone 3 lots of 10 down before I realised it didn't start to match up, and then realised what I'd done. So because it's just that shaded area at the top and sort of all mottled, you're not going to tell. I couldn't unpick a quarter of a page, no, but you can't tell. And I know I've marked on the chart what I did onto the next page, so once I get to that page, I'll know what I did and I'll be fine. And then I did another row and a half of 10 underneath that, and it's back right now, so I'm really pleased with my progress on that. A bit haded out now, if I'm honest, after that challenge. It was quite intense, but I wanted to get it done out of the way before Stitch Maynia starts. So I'm all ready to go with that now, I think. I did make notes today. In that challenge there was 56 different colours on that page, so really chuffed that I've done that. I've got a little bit of haul. Oh, before I do that, I wanted to ask, on Instagram I took part in a arts crafts stash swap at Christmas time, and the rules of the swap were you could use your own stash and make up a little package to send for your allocated partner. It was a secret swap and you were allowed to buy things, but the limit was £10. So I received, as part of my package, this beautiful fabric. It is so lovely, it's so sparkly. I've gone across with my ruler and it's 28 count, but it's quite dark, and I don't know if anybody's got any suggestions of what could be stitched on something that dark. It's so beautiful. I've put it in my stash for now until I might come up with something, but any suggestions? Would love to hear them. I think I told you about the magazine I bought last month. I've taken out some of the charts and patterns that I quite like to do out of that. There was a ballerina that I might do for somebody, and there was a whole few pages of alphabet letters. They've done it into a cushion, but I might do a cushion but sort of not do roll up, but do perhaps my son's name or something, and make that for his bed. There was, I can't show you that one or that one. And they've done, started in that issue of the magazine, they've done a bit of a stitch along, so you get a new chart each month. Can't see it, I think. But I'm not sure if I'm going to do it. The first one is the little Scotty dog, and it says peace. But I'm going to wait for next month and see what the next one is before I decide whether to do that or not. Not sure. Depends what's in them. I bought another magazine, issue 128, Cross Stitch Gold. Some beautiful things in here. I won't show you them all, but there's one that I am definitely going to do, which is the sewing sampler. I love that, absolutely love it. I'm not one normally for backstitch, but I'm going to do that one. The designer is Maria Diaz. I'm sure I've seen something else of hers before. I can't remember what it is, but I love that. There's quite a few charts that I may do, but I'm definitely going to do that one. And I've got my first, I don't know if I said last time, I've joined Chromatic Alchemist Fabric of the Month. So I received my first ever hand-dyed fabric. And now I've sort of stitched on 25 count even weave and realised how lovely it is. I went for 28 count because I thought that's a good size. What size did I get? 18 by 26, and this is 28 count Lugana Shani. It is heavenly, absolutely heavenly. So it's quite a big piece, and I'm thinking that would look really, really nice on it, because there's quite a lot of light colours, and I think that would look heavenly. So I was so excited to receive that. Really excited. I didn't have any plans for it until I got that magazine, but I think that'll be perfect for that. So I've got something else as well. Oh, I had 2 new needle minders. I think I've got 2 more to come. These were from the lovely Stacey at Arty Moments. I'll put a link to her Etsy shop down below. There's a little elephant. He's so cute. And then I love those strawberries. They're so nice. My hubby said, "How many needle minders do you need?" Well, it'd be lovely to have one for each project, wouldn't it? So that was all my haul. Well, my haul sort of ties in with my Stitch Maynia plans. I was going through all my stash, and there's quite a few that I'd like to start. So Stitch Maynia is a good excuse to get them all out. So I had most of the fabric and most of the floss for them, and I put an order in with Lakeside Needlecrafts just for the remaining bits of floss, and I wrote it all down and it's all in order. So I'll just give you a brief showing of what I'm doing. I think I've lost my marbles doing Stitch Maynia. I have so many WIPs already started. So the first one, oh, I should pick this, is, I've shown you this before, it's the finally going to get round to starting the wrestling. I'm just going to do the black and red and stitch it on white Ada 14 count because it's quite stiff, and make it into a cushion for my son because he really likes wrestling. So I've got that in a bag with thread and fabric. Number 2 on my list, just take the top out, is the little vintage sewing machine which I bought off Etsy a long time ago, and that's got a lot of colours for a small chart, but I didn't buy thread for it all because some of the ones I've picked, the thread doubles up, so I've made a note of which thread is from that I need for another project. I've made a note of which project it's in. So the next 2, number 3 and number 4, these were from a magazine. So the one I'm going to do is the Dahlia. So I've got the colours for that, and then the other one I'm going to do is the Sunflower. So I've got my threads and fabric for that. And then next up is the French pattern that I can't say, but it's Alice in a Snow Globe. That one's going to be for my daughter's birthday, I think. Got all the colours for that. Next, I'm going to do Afternoon in London. And then I've written in there which colours I'm missing in there, but which of the other ones that they're in. So rather than double up. That's going to be stitched on 20 count Ada, because I've already started Afternoon in New York on 20 count Ada, so I thought I'd do them all the same. And then number 7, Afternoon in Paris. They're all sort of, I've tried to pick charts that are sort of that have a realistic sort of working on and finish. Next up, I think some of these I showed in my stash video. Next up is Lizzie Kate, and 2 shall be 1. I've got my colours in there. I was at ages deciding on an order to do them as well. Next is Lizzie Kate, my to-do list. That's on 25 count even weave. And then Country Cottage Needleworks, to have and to hold. That's really sweet, that chart. I'm going to stitch that on 16 count Ada, because that's what I had. I didn't want to do it on white because there's quite a bit of white in the chart. And then these two, they were free downloads from the Wielding Stitches, which the link was on my last video. I can't show them too close because there's it's a chart. I'm not sure if you can show free charts, but there's 2 of those. So I'm going to do that one on like a, I don't know what colour you'd call it. It's not navy blue, but it's got a little bit of purple. But I do like that. And they're going to be stitched on 18 count white Ada, because I had a piece of scrap and cut it in half for these 2. That one I'm going to do on the purple, only because it's in my stash and the label fell off and I don't know what number it is. And then the last one is a Wildma. It's actually a baby sampler, but I'm going to do the border, but I'm not going to do the writing. I might just put my son's name at the top. He's quite interested in geography and history and things like that. And I've changed the colours. So I haven't done the pink. I've swapped that out for 2 darker greens, I think. But I've got all the colours in there, so that'll be a quite bright one. I had some other downloads as well. Rebecca, I think it's Greco, she's Hugs Are Fun on Instagram, and she does a blog and she has an Etsy shop, and she does Free Pattern Friday. So I downloaded a few. I'm not doing these for Stitch Maynia because I've got my 15, so I'm going to do 15 starts for the first 15 days. And what I thought I'd do, the following 15 days, I'd go through them from the beginning again and have a second day on each of them and see if I can get quite a bit of progress on those. The first 3 weeks in May, I haven't really got much on, so I'm hoping to get quite a lot of progress on those. Because I don't know, my rotation's gone out of the window this last month because I stuck with the Haid to do the challenge and then did a bit more on that. And then I thought I won't bother sticking to the rotation for the end of the month because Maynia will start the 1st of May. And yeah, the rotation's sort of gone out of the window. So once May is out of the way, I'll do a new rotation, and I might not do them a week long because I'll try and incorporate some of those which will then be WIPs, just to see if I can get some done. Anyway, I downloaded a few of these. I think I can show them because you can download them yourself free. So one's a coffee, these are just fun little things. And then a tea, for any of you tea and coffee lovers out there. And then make something every day. Like I say, I'll put the link down below, and then you can have a look. But she does quilting and all sorts on there. She's very crafty and very lovely. Oh, I've got a bit more haul. I forgot to show you. I saw on somebody's video, I can't remember who it was now. Stitchy Wolf, I think. She was showing her haul, and she showed these charts she'd bought from a needle workshop that she'd visited, and absolutely fell in love with them. And I'd seen them somewhere else and couldn't remember, and looked for them online and could not find them anywhere. So I went back through her video. It would have been easier just to ask her a question, but I kept pausing her video just to catch a glimpse of the designer on the bottom of this chart. I love houses, and I love American houses, and these are they're Debbie Patrick designs, but I couldn't find them anywhere. They don't have them on eBay, on Amazon, on 123 Stitch or so-and-so, or anywhere. I just couldn't find them anywhere. So found the name of the designer, put her in Google. She's got her own website. So that's the first one, Victorians Across America. And that one's Nightingale House. There's loads. The majority of them are houses in San Francisco, and I love San Francisco because I love Clint Eastwood, and all his films are set in San Francisco. And then this one, Victorian Homes 2, so there's 4 on there. So it's Broadway Street, the Pink Lady, Oak Street and Pierce Street. And then there's some more on the back. But I was so impressed because I went on, and I think that was $4.95 and that was $5.95, and you've got 4 charts in there. And I thought, oh, the shipping's going to be ridiculous, and then probably customs charge, because quite often get stung for that. So I went to check out, and she's got a standard shipping of, I think it's $2.75 or something like that. It was definitely under $3. So I thought, well, that can't be right. So I'll get to check out, and it'll probably adjust and be really expensive, but it wasn't. So for those 2 charts and shipping to the UK here was $13 and something, a few cents, which in UK pounds it was under £10. I wouldn't have been able to buy those in this country for that, so I should definitely be able to buy more. I haven't started kitting any up yet. I'm going to wait till I can concentrate on those and, you know, have a real good go at them. The only thing is they're filled with backstitch, which I'm not a fan of, but I think it's worth it for those. I think they'll look so good. So I think that's all I've got to show you. Oh, I'll just show you something at the end. It is stitchy, but it's not cross stitch. On Instagram, there's a lady on there, Keely, and she's in the US Navy, and she's being deployed in June for 6 months, and she doesn't have, once they're on ship, she doesn't have internet access. So she wondered if lots of people would volunteer to make a 10.5-inch quilt block and send it to her, and then she's going to take them all with her on her deployment and make a quilt to keep her busy in her spare hours, I suppose. So I'll just show you quickly. I know some of you are not interested, but I just wanted to show you. So I made this 10.5-inch block just from scraps that I had. So I'm hopefully going to send that off to her today. Want to see the back? It's a pain getting all those seams flat, but quite pleased with that. And then you had to sign it, so when the quilt's done, I think she's received quite a few already, when the quilt's done, all the blocks will have all the people's names that helped her out, and so it's called Keely's Deployment Quilt. So I'm going to send that off to her today. But I like doing things like that. So that is it, I think. I'm going to do another video next week because there's 2 tags I want to do, and I keep meaning to do Brian C's Super Stitcher tag and keep running out of time on my update videos. And then there's Tracy P's talking tag, which I've seen so many people do and it looks so much fun. So I'm going to do those 2 next week. Hopefully I'll get quite a bit of stitching done as well. And I think that is it. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Thank you to everyone. I've had more subscribers. I can't believe people actually want to watch me, but thank you so much, and you all leave such lovely comments, and it's really lovely to hear. So thank you, thank you. Have a great stitching week, and I will hopefully see you all next week. Bye.